Okay, so how many goals did you come up with? I do a quick count of your cards. I can basically tell you the majority of people will list at least 50 goals in this initial brainstorming session. If you've come up far short, if you only have 10 or 20 cards, I would highly encourage you to not go on to the next step, but instead press the link below that returns you back to one more 10-minute timer, and for another 10 minutes do the initial brainstorming session. I don't want to lead you in any one direction, but please go through there and make sure that you've got at least 50 or so goals listed on index cards just to get started. There are plenty of things to do in life. Let your mind go wild and determine what those are. So go ahead and press that link now if you need to replay the 10 minutes. Okay, at this point you should have at least 50 or so index cards listing out goals. Some people have well over 100 by this point, but at least you've got the initial foundation, the initial things that are on your mind when it comes to things that you'd like to accomplish. So this is phase two, and in phase two we're going to concentrate a little bit on the aspects of life that are part of your life. And there's a lot of different aspects. So what I would like you to do is take a number of blank index cards, and on each one of these blank index cards, I'm going to want you to write the word aspect at the top. So take a look at this card. Use blue ink and simply write aspect of life at the top of the card. And then what I'm going to want you to do is take each aspect that you can think of that as part of your roles in life, part of your aspects in life, and write it right in the middle. So in this case, I have a card where I actually, parenting and being a parent to my kids is one of the things that I decided to put as an aspect of life. So I'm going to throw up a chart here in just a second that lists typical aspects of life, but obviously workplace and career is an aspect of life. Being a son or daughter to your parents is an aspect of life. Being a friend to certain people, being a work associate to other people, being in part of the community. All these are different aspects of life. So what I want you to do is start creating these cards. Here's the chart of typical aspects that you might consider. I'm going to go ahead and put a timer up, and just for the next 2-3 minutes, I guess I'll put a 2-minute timer up, jot down these cards and write aspects on each one. Now, also, I'd like you to add one more thing to the card. If you look at this card, I've put a 3-letter abbreviation of what spouse is, and I mean, you obviously husband or wife, you could abbreviate it a different way that makes sense to you, but the purpose of that is that we're going to be able to use that abbreviation and categorize our goals by aspect of life. Okay, so the final card on each one of these is going to look like this, where you've got aspect at the top in larger letters, the name of the aspect, which could be spouse or community leader or whatever, and then a 3-letter abbreviation in parentheses as to what you are going to call this aspect of life in an abbreviated form. So here's the 2-minute timer with a chart to try to guide you, and hopefully you can come up with 7, 8, 9, 12, 15 different aspects or roles that you play in your life that we can list on all these different cards. All right, here we go.